you find the password?
Yes, sir. So we're back. It's Mark. We will sermon denge or yes, Mark. Go ahead with your sermon.
Of course.
With the ice cream in hand.
Of course, you've got to have the ice cream. So it's very interesting at Oxford. To say the least, I was surrounded by people who were very different than I was, and everyone came to the center, came to meetings and to groups with an agenda. A Christian wanted to convert my Muslim friend to be a Christian. So oftentimes the Muslims wanted to convert the Christians to be a Muslim, and Hindus and Buddhists, you name it. And it was amazing because there was one day when we all got together and said, why don't we just be friends? Why don't we start out with just breaking bread together and getting to know each other? And it's amazing because I could give sermons and preach on what it means to be a follower of the way, be a follower of Allah, be a follower of God, or Isa al-Messiah, Jesus our Messiah. But most of that is meaningless unless we for me at least, unless we truly understand the heart of a friend, the heart of love through friendship. And it's funny because my father is one of my heroes. His name is Mark Stiljander as well. And he always said to go somewhere without an agenda. When you're a Christian or when you're a follower of Jesus and you meet a Muslim or anybody else, you're supposed to go in without an agenda. And I always thought that was BS, frankly. I always thought this is a load of crap. This doesn't mean anything. How do we go out somewhere without an agenda? Everyone has agendas. Every single person you go to has an agenda. Even love is an agenda. What does this even mean? And I felt some personal discovery for myself. What does it mean to have no agenda? This is what it means to me. I say, Lord, I want people to know God the way I know Him, the way I've experienced Him in my heart, the way that He's given me freedom and fruit meaning love and joy and peace and patience and kindness, goodness in my heart that I want to follow through with. And what I do is I take all those things I want for the world, and I go before God, and I lay all of those things before His feet and say, God, I surrender. I give all of these things to you. I crucify, I kill my desires, my gifts, my abilities, my dreams before you. And then after crucifying or giving up all of the things that I love or want for the world, I go in with open arms, with open heart and saying, let's just be friends, be brothers. So my call, I guess, to action, if I were to have a call to action, would be to recognize that each of us have desires in our hearts for ourselves and for our neighbors, but to put them before the feet of Allah, put them before the feet of God, and say, Lord, these are yours. I give them back to you, because you're the one who put them in my heart to begin with. And now I will go into the world with one mission in mind, and that's just to be open to loving and getting to know others, with a true heart of submission, and dealing with the internal struggle of finding that place of peace within myself, so that I can truly love the world. And that's what I've been trying to do, that's what I've been struggling to do. And this is a mission, I believe, that can change the world. So that would be, at least for right now, that would be my first call to action, right? Is to love unconditionally, as the Bible and as the Quran, as both the Old and New Testament has said, and spoken about so eloquently. It's to love unconditionally one another, right? Regardless of the country. And we've been doing that today, sharing ice cream and a meal with one another, just trying to get to know each other deeply and on a personal level. And my last word for you is this. I'm in North Carolina. Racism is everywhere. People who don't understand Arabs, don't understand blacks, don't understand whites. I mentioned the Quran once, and whites will go running for the hills. They won't want to have anything to do with me after that, just by mentioning Quran or Allah, without them even realizing that Allah just means God, right, in Arabic. But
and
then
it's the same in Aramaic.
What's that?
It's the same in Aramaic.
Yeah, Allah in Aramaic, right, exactly. But what's amazing is my white friends, frankly, will come back to me later, go, Mark, well, what's actually in the Quran? I know I've been saying this is the book of the devil for years, but does it really talk about Jesus like you say it does? Does it really talk about Maryam, like you say it does? Does it talk about Jesus being supernaturally conceived by a virgin named Mary? Is this really there? I said, don't ask me, look for yourself. Right? And so we'll open up a Quran. And of course, again, this is going beyond, if you're in North Carolina, if you only knew the culture around here, this is taboo. This is way out of control for most people here. But when you catch them one-on-one, their hearts will start to open up. And they trust me. They feel safe around me because they recognize I come into the conversation with no agenda. Again, this links back. And their heart's open, and I share with them Jesus.